I started high school in 2019, and it was really hard time for me. I didn't really have many friends, and it's really difficult for me to make friends. And then the pandemic hit in early 2020, and everything just went right downhill, for me at least. And it was a pretty terrible time for me and my parents as well, because obviously when their kid is struggling, they are also gonna have some things that they have to deal with on their part as well. Since I can remember, I've struggled with food, and it just got really bad in 2020 because of the pandemic and some things that a close person in my life was saying and doing. And I became really depressed, and the only way for me to, I guess, dissolve the depression was to fade it out by having an eating disorder. It just helped. I'm not saying it's helpful at all, but it was like a numbing thing for me. I feel like a lot of my teachers, they saw that I was struggling, and they just let things go. I think what I needed from my teachers was not only for them to notice, but to act on it. And no one who is in my situation is going to say that. No one wants that. But as someone who is experiencing this a year later, I know that that's something I needed. And if I had gotten the help, if someone had told me I need help, and I had gotten it earlier, I would have greatly benefited from it. So I'm not saying that teachers have the responsibility to, I guess, fix you. They don't. They're teachers. But also getting to know you. Like, they see you're struggling. Don't just let things go. Like, find out what's happening. Like, be a safe space for them to talk, because I think I would have really benefited from that, like a safe space. I've grown a lot in the past 2 years from when things were really bad. I have done a lot of growing, but I don't think I would be where I am now without having gone through what I did. It's not something that someone can do for you. It's something that you have to decide to do. And you have to realize that this is something that's going to make my life good. And I needed that from my parents. I needed them to notice that I was struggling, and I needed them to see that I needed help, because I wasn't going to seek out help for myself, because in my mind I was just fine. And I was not fine. And I struggled with that for the last 2 years. And then I went to a recovery program where I learned a lot, and I was matched with a therapist that really helps me to this day. He's a great person. I'm sorry. I had a falling out with a few close friends, and I would say that initially, it didn't seem positive at all, but now that I'm looking back, it was something that needed to happen, because I feel like when I recovered from my eating disorder, I fell back onto my friends, and that wasn't necessarily healthy, because I was just taking one thing that was numbing and then focusing it on something else, and I was dependent on that to bring me joy, to keep me occupied. Just all aspects of my life, I had to be with my friends. I had, and in that process, I hurt my family, and I did some things that I should not have done. So I think my parents helping me towards something that we all knew I needed, and then talking it out really with my therapist and with my friends, it was just like, it was like flushing my system full of water and just letting go. Because once you tell a person, anyone really, but once you just let it all out, you have room to work on the things that you need to work on. Now that it's after that situation, I feel independent and I'm happy and I'm spending time with other people, but I'm also taking time to focus on myself and where I'm at in life and helping myself so that I can be there to help others. I know everyone says this, but I would just say, like, it truly and genuinely does get better and everything is temporary. And 14-year-old me would say, no, it's not temporary because you failed this class, so you're never going to get to go to college. I genuinely thought that, but it really is. It really does get better, and nothing is stationary in life. It's always moving, it's always changing, and you really have to help yourself to get places. And as long as you have confidence and strength, you can really get anywhere.